Welcome back to 80scomics.com for the review of Warlord issue number 42. Excuse me as I take a moment here to nerd out on Mike Grell's artwork. And his page layouts are really good too. Unusual for the era. Sometimes hard to follow, but they do tell a fantastic story. There he is yelling at his magic sword. We all have problems. His are just a little more bizarre. Hey, Aquaman. War. What is it good for? The Warlord. That's what it's good for. It's also a great band. Cisco Kid and Lowrider are my favorites. The Warlord. Plus OMAC. More importantly, we get an ad for a sweet Turbo Trans Am model kit. That's a great looking Trans Am. Look, these kids are like the Dukes of Hazzard. They look so happy. Where was I? War! Okay, let's meet a character here named Shakira, who I saw in one of the other issues. I wasn't really sure what her deal was, but apparently the Warlord has the greatest cat ever. It's a talking cat, but more specifically, it transforms into a beautiful woman wearing a cat. Seems like a special order kind of cat. Anyway. I'm so easily distracted. There's some sort of relationship between the two of them, but the plot here is that the Warlord needs to get to the city, which I just want to call Oz. It kind of looks like Oz, doesn't it? He needs to get to the city of Shambhala, and his girlfriend Tara is the queen of Shambhala. So he storms it the first time and fails. We get some pretty sweet action. Once again, great art and writing from the incredibly talented Mike Grell. Gets a arrow in his shoulder. I missed it the first time. You got to look closely. He's kicking so much ass, but even with his magic sword, he can't quite get through all the bad guys, so he has to retreat and regroup. Gets shot in the shoulder, and we get Aquaman in the space capsule. And fruit pies. I loved these fruit pies. Everybody my age loved these fruit pies. Do they still make these? Like, they can't possibly be as good as they were back then, are they? They were amazing, those fruit pies. Back to violence, death, and destruction. The Warlord goes all Rambo 3, pulls out the arrow from his shoulder, has a vision of his daughter. Now, you may have caught a glimpse of this in the previous, one of my earlier reviews of Warlord 43. This is 42. His daughter, apparently, I don't know this part of the story yet. I haven't read all the back issues, but she's stranded in their inner land of the lost world. Apparently captured by Igor or somebody here. Look, master, what the sea has brought, is she not beautiful? Someone had to do his voice. It may as well be me. And then apparently he gets one of the laser guns from Fallout 3. Love the design of that thing. And I want to show you the artwork here, because the artwork is terrific in the book when he starts using that on the enemy forces after Shakira expresses her true feelings for him and then turns into a cat and runs away. Right here, I love this page. Warlord crashing into the enemies with a magic sword held over his head that's possessing him, by the way, on a horse crushing enemy soldiers while blasting this guy in the face with a laser beam. I still think Mike Grell needs to win the Nobel Peace Prize. He clearly should be king of the world. Great artwork. And here he saws all the enemy soldiers in half with his laser. It's the Warlord. If you're not reading this, you're missing out. I'm telling you, these are really good. They don't cost that much to collect, especially if they're banged up. And I think that adds character for an 80s comic to be banged up and well-loved. What's on the back cover? The complicated Legos. Those are boring. I prefer Atari games. And I prefer the Warlord to things that aren't the Warlord, unless maybe it's G.I. Joe and Conan. I love all this stuff because it's 80scomics.com. Thanks for watching, and make sure that you're reading The Warlord. Approved by the Comics Code.